everyone, this is Phantom Celebi, and I haven't slept. Anyway, if you've read the title, then you'll be like, well, here goes Phantom's channel, out the window. Uh, but yeah, so why I still love Steven Universe. From the very beginning of this show, I adored it. I felt it had a very interesting storyline, and I wanted to continue with this series. I felt with each episode, each character was just perfectly represented, and I think one of the things that especially drew me to the series was all the musical numbers. I know a lot of people hate on that. I mean, it's kind of weird to say, but like I love the musical numbers, and to be honest, I don't get why so many people hate the musical numbers, considering a good majority of these people also like Dear Evan Hansen and Hamilton and all that. And I mean, those shows are great and all, but the thing is like, if you're gonna like one musical thing, give the other thing a chance. I mean, maybe because it's a TV show, people are like, what the heck? Why the heck is there musical numbers in a TV show? But the thing is like, it goes well with Steven Universe. In my opinion, it goes pretty great with the show because the show itself, it feels like a really long movie, in a sense. Uh, Let me bring in this dude's belly because he got a beer belly or something. Anyway, yeah, so when I started watching this show, I was like, oh, this is a little on the childish side, but definitely, I guess, normal for the whole it is on Cartoon Network thing. But then, like, when the show kept going along, it felt like there were themes to it that I can relate with. Also, before anyone says anything about the art style, do you remember how bad the art was in the 90s? Don't tell me that it was amazing, because I grew up back then. I remember what it looked like. I mean, a good half of the characters were ovals. Like, Miss Bellum from the Powerpuff Girls was hair and boobs. And I mean, nothing wrong with hair and boobs, but I mean, that isn't exactly a great art choice. I still love her character. Her character, personality wise, hands down, was a great character. And I mean, the way that the Powerpuff Girls direction went for the new show, I must say I don't like it, but I'm not gonna hate on it as much as the other people have. But yeah, back to Steven Universe. Um, I personally, I don't get why people hate the musical aspect of the show. Yet again, because the current generation, I don't get why people hate on the art when there are shows that use a similar art style. Um, Quite a lot of them on Cartoon Network, and people like them. Also, if I could talk about anything, I know they're talking about majority of the time that a lot of the art style isn't uniform, but I think that makes it kind of cute and quirky because it reminds me of a series that Rebecca Sugar is actually a pretty big fan of because I recall this. It reminds me of Ed, Ed, and Eddie. The art style wasn't very uniform in that show, but it was beautiful, in my opinion, because it was its own thing. But yeah, like, the art itself, I didn't think was an issue for the show because I feel the best thing that made that show shine, like, in my best feel of that, is the fact that the characters got so much love. Like, not just the main characters. I mean, the side characters, too, got tons of love. And I know some people are like, oh, why would they need love? I mean, at that, the show's not over. They can be included in anything. So, why would it be an issue if, like, they get a little spotlight? I mean, I love the stories that they include. I mean, at that, a lot of those characters did actually get reintroduced into other episodes and did help out the Crystal Gems in certain situations, like the Watermelon Stevens. They helped out when, okay, what's her name? Yeah, I'm trying to remember what the fusion was with, like, I know the fusion names and all that, but the thing is like, I'm really bad with remembering stuff when I'm trying to remember things. It's such a weird phenomenon, but then I remember it later and I'm like hating myself for forgetting it. And it's like stuff that I really enjoy.
Oh,
But yeah, like, okay, yeah, Alexandrite. Alexandrite was fighting with Malachite, and like the two of them were in a full-on feud war, and the Watermelon Stevens, who was in a previous episode, they helped out. Also, they were a pretty good device for plot, like talking about issues that are going to happen later on. And I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, well, why do they need to have that put in there?" And I mean, it's a good way to hint things to people, in my opinion. But yeah, I'm gonna say in my opinion a lot because I mean I feel some people are gonna be like, "This is fact," and Maria thinks it's fact, and that is fact. She's saying it's fact, and I hate her, and ah. But yeah, I'm saying in my opinion because this is how I feel about the show. So don't go and get your panties in a knot. Yes, even the dudes, you are wearing knotted panties. But yeah, like the show itself, I felt the way that it was written was pretty good. And it's still being written. I think it's pretty good. Uh, at the end of the day, I, I don't know. It's like another thing that I like a bunch of people hated on, but I loved, which was the choices in some of the newer costumes. And let me see. Not so much like okay, so you know how they had like newer transformations and new fusions and they didn't get really a flesh out when they did get introduced? I'm pretty sure it's because yet again the show isn't over, so they're gonna get their spotlight. You know how like Sugalite and it was Sugalite and all of them, they had their own episode where they were just introduced for a little bit and then they went on with it. And I mean, my thoughts on that is I don't think that's a bad idea to do something like, yeah, this is a little taste of what that character is like. And it makes you kind of want to see them more. And I'm pretty sure that's why they did that. I would say the fusion I don't like is definitely the Rainbow Quartz 2.0. Um I mean I get that it's kind of cool that Rainbow Quartz has a male voice actor, but it's like it I don't know. I remember what the original Rainbow Quartz looked like and it was a gorgeous fusion and the second one kind of just looks corny, I guess. And but I mean, I'm thinking that's what they were going for. They were going for like the idea of an adult woman fusing with a little boy. And you know, the a more mature person being with somebody who's not as mature. So the idea of him being like that is, I guess, appropriate. And another thing that people I know hated on was the choice in when the characters reformed. Like, a lot of people hated the whole Gurren Lagann, transformation thing going on they had there, where it's like, hey, everyone's got Kamina glasses. And Kamina and Simone. But I'm gonna say I loved that like crazy. I loved it because, well, I'm a weeb. This shouldn't be a shocker to anyone. I'm a big old nerd and I like nerdy things. So the fact that Rebecca Sugar appealed to my nerd just made me happy. Like, it does seem strange to some people for her to include something that isn't generally included in Western cartoons as a costume choice, but I'm all for it. And when the series comes back up, I will be there being the biggest freaking nerd ever. Because I want to see those fusions do their thing. I want to see how the characters are more developed. I want to talk to all sorts of people in chats, and I know like a lot of people will probably hate on me for enjoying this stuff, but I think one of the things besides the musical numbers being beautiful and the characters having so much emotion to them and being so perfectly fleshed out, in my opinion, one of the things that just makes the show shine is Rebecca Sugar puts a lot of her personality into her stuff. I mean, I haven't seen a lot of cartoon developers really put their own interests into a show and really make it shine. And it's like in a sense, looking at her, but as a cartoon. Like, she's always shown interest in animation. She's always shown interest in anime in general. And, like, all sorts of old cartoony shows. And it, to me, really showed in Steven Universe. And I don't see anything wrong with wanting to put everything you love into something that you have created. And I hope that she continues to put that love in each and every bit of this show. Because don't you want to look at something and just feel how the person was feeling when they were working this out with their team? Don't you want to get that little bit of excitement to know what will go on in the next season and beyond? I mean, it's like when you would watch an old Star Trek episode. Some of the stuff was kind of cheesy, but it was also pretty interesting. It's like there was this one episode of Star Trek. It was Captain Kirk and the team. They went to this planet where everybody was children. I'm pretty sure that's what the plot was. Everybody was children, and like there were a few adults there, but it was like some sort of anarchist system. And it's like, what were they thinking when they actually made this episode? But a lot of the way it was put together actually still made it kind of a fun episode. And I mean, I know that was something that I don't know what she calls herself now, either Lily Pete or Lily Orchid. I am not sure. But like, I know that was something she complained about, where I think it's actually a good thing about the show. That it includes a bit of something like a Monster of the Week type thing, along with a bit of a ongoing story. And I mean, I know the stuff with the diamonds is done, but the show itself isn't done. And I'm actually pretty excited to see what happens. Also, I kind of want to see why some of the corrupted gems still have messed up features. I mean, maybe they have to learn completely, like relearn how to shape their bodies properly. Or maybe they're just going to stay like that, like it's some sort of permanent damage to them, which is pretty interesting because it's like I know for a fact that they themselves aren't physical beings. They're made of light. And that's just cool. I mean, I don't know. I like a lot of the stuff that they put out there. And I'm not like an obsessive crazy fan, so if you're going to go nuts on me about the show, okay. It's up to you. But I mean, like, that's just how I feel about it. I hope you guys enjoyed my whole thing here where I talked about the show and why I like it and how I felt that the show itself is a good representation of its creator, which shows that she's quirky, she's a nerd, she's definitely into our generation's genres and fiction, and she's just like all around. She put herself and her team put themselves into each and every bit of that show, and it makes it feel like we are part of them. And I don't know about you, but I like the idea of being part of something bigger. Anyway, hope to see you guys again soon. Like, comment, and subscribe for more spastastic content. And I love you guys. Stay awesome. Bye bye. So it's time once again for my Phantom Squad top tier. These are for people who have been there for me no matter what. And I'm going to be legit when I say that I really appreciate every bit of you guys who have helped me throughout this whole time. This year has been incredibly wonderful, and I will never forget each and every moment that I have spent talking to you on Twitter and really getting to know all you great and wonderful people. So I want to thank all you guys. Here we go. Here's to you, Jazz the Chameleon, Potato _ bunch of numbers, Edie Rose 23, Cute Girl Sim, Calorie _ Aiken, Malunix 5, Chrissa Sims, Benjamin GYT, Lovely Laura, Veggie Gamer, Bay Shaman, EJ Black Dove, Trippy D, Ray of Sunshine X1, Sonic Jenny, Shifty, Kaleda Sims, Prismatic Simmer, Sims Lena, Stray Shadow Cat, Francis Trotter, and Sims Lita. I want to also say that all the YouTubers who have been trying to help me with my channel and who have been really great with shouting me out on Twitter and just all around being awesome with me, I mean, I really appreciate that. I mean, when I was having a little bit of a problem online, Bay Shaman was talking to me, and he was calming me down. He genuinely, I know a lot of people think that he has a bit of an act going on, but I think part of him is just trying to make his actual personality entertaining. And I don't know, I kind of feel people give him a harder time than he should. He's definitely a fun and interesting person to talk to. I also love Veggie Gamer. He's so cute and quirky, and despite having a bit of a low self-esteem, he is a gem. Definitely somebody you should be watching. And all my smaller sim friends here, like the ones who have sim in their name and all that, you definitely should give them a watch, I would say, because I mean, each and every one of them have something special and unique about them. I know I probably shouldn't be making this outro so long, but I really do appreciate every moment I've spent, talking to you guys, and I hope that you guys watch my videos and enjoy it. Anyway, talk to you guys later. See ya. Bye-bye. Mwah.